Good artsy afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about drawing people using shapes and lines. We're going to be making people that look real, that look like the person that you're imagining in your head, because we are way too good of artists to be drawing people like this, to be making stick figures. So we're not doing those anymore. We are going to be drawing people that look real, that have bodies and arms and legs and hands and hair and eyes and mouths and everything, just like real people. So the elements of art that we will be using today when we create are color, line, and shape. Those are our elements of art, those important things that we learn about to become artists. So let's start thinking, what do we want to make? What kind of person do you want to make? We need to have a plan in our head for this project. Sometimes when we're creating, we can just start creating and see what it turns into. But for this one, we really need a plan in our head. So you can start imagining different kinds of people. Maybe you want to draw someone that you know, like a mom or dad or brother, sister, or grandma, or a friend. Maybe you want to draw someone that's made up. Or you could draw you when you're grown up, being something that you want to be one day. It could be any kind of person. So you have to start thinking in your head who or what you would like to make. And then once you have your idea, you could start creating it using shapes and lines. So I'm going to think of, I'm going to make a doctor. And my doctor is going to be a boy. So now that I have my plan, I can start drawing. So let's think, let's start with our head. What shape can you use for a head? Yeah, I heard an oval and a circle. So you could, if you want a head that's longer, you could use an oval. If you want a head that's more round, you can use a circle. So I'm going to draw the head. And then, what's underneath the head? What holds up our head? Our neck. So for a neck, we can actually use just a small square. And that makes an easy peasy neck. And then under our neck is the top part of our body. And for that part, we can actually use a big square. Let me draw one over here. You could use a big square, or you could use a big oval for that top part of our body, our chest. So I'm going to do a big square. And you notice I'm drawing with a pencil. That's because if I make a mistake, I can just erase it. And then I'll add color and details after I draw my person, just so that I've got it just right. Okay, I used my square. Now I need some arms. What shapes could we use for arms? Yeah, we're not just drawing straight line arms like this, because that's not what my arm looks like. My arm has two sides to it. So that means I need to have a shape that has two sides. So I could use rectangles, really thin ones, or I could use long ovals. So you can choose what kind you want to use on your person. I'm using rectangles. Now, this person needs legs. So we're going to use rectangles again, and long ones that go down for the legs, and they'll go right up to that top part of the body. There we go. It's starting to look like a real person now. What else does it need? It does need hands, you're right. Okay, so let's add some hands. What's an easy way to draw a hand? Because sometimes hands can be tricky. Let's look at our hands. What shapes do we see? I see a circle right here in the middle for the palm of my hand. And then I could use ovals for my fingers. So let's start with a circle and then some ovals for those fingers. And how many fingers do we have? 5. Yep. Now, if you're really fancy and you think you could start drawing hands without the circle and the ovals, you could practice drawing them with wavy lines that go up and down and make 5 fingers. Now we got our hands. How about some feet? What shape could we use for feet? Yep, we could use rectangles. We could use ovals. Let's do some ovals and make sneakers on my person. There we go. All right, now we need some details on that head. What's on the sides of our head that help us hear? Ears. So let's use a half circle for our ears. Half circle, half circle. It's like making the letter C on the side of the face. So we got ears, hands, feet, arms and legs. This person needs some details on their face now, like a nose and mouth and eyes. There are lots of different ways that you can draw noses and mouths. Lots and lots of different ways. I'm sure some of you have some ways that I didn't even think of. But you can use another piece of paper and just practice some different kinds of noses and mouths and see which ones you would like to use on your drawing. So for my person, I'm going to give him a long, round nose. So I went straight down and then I made a bump for his nose. And then we're going to give him a big smile because he's very happy. He's helping people get better, my doctor. Now what shape could we use for eyes? Oval is another good shape for that. We use ovals a lot when we are drawing our people here. Oh, 2 ovals. And then if you look inside, if you go and look in the mirror and you look inside your eye, or you look at someone that you live with and you look in their eye, you'll actually see a big circle inside there. And then you'll see a smaller circle. You'll see that pupil in the middle, really dark black. So when you're drawing your eyes, you can practice adding those details, the big circle and the little circle. Now, those are all the big details that we need. Now my person's going to need some hair and clothes and all kind of stuff. So now I'm going to start using my markers and crayons for my details. So how about, let's think about his hair. He could have straight hair. He could have wavy hair. He could have really curly hair. He could be bald and have no hair. Let's give him, how about wavy hair? So I'm going to start at the top of his head and give him wavy hair that goes down to his ears. And our hair goes up above our head. So when you're drawing your person, you can draw hair up on top of their head. And that will help because our hair puffs up a little bit on top. Unless you have really short hair, then it just goes little teeny tiny. So now he's got some hair. He needs eyebrows. Let's use some round lines for his eyebrows. All right. And then I can start thinking about the details that I would need now to make him look like a doctor so that when people see him, they would go, oh, she made a doctor. So I'm giving him that cross that we see for the hospital, and I could give him the buttons on his shirt, and how about, what's it called, a stethoscope? Is that what it's called? What's that tool that helps them hear your heartbeat? Give him one of those around his neck. What else do doctors have? Doctors have masks sometimes. Let's give this one a mask. It's going to cover up his mouth that I just drew, but that's okay. That's why I did it in pencil, because now I can erase it. Because I'm going to draw a mask. Let's color it in. Got a blue mask. And he needs the straps to go around his ears. Okay, and then I could start adding details for his eye color and his skin color and all kinds of stuff. I can use crayons, you could use markers, it doesn't matter. But you can start drawing and adding details and making your person the best you can do. I really want to see you use your creativity and your imagination. Take your time when you're drawing. We're not making any stick people. We're not going to make any of that stuff. Give him some color in his eyes. His nose is kind of hard to see now. Let's make that darker. And then I could add some details to his shoes, and then you could work on your background. I could draw him in a hospital. I could draw someone on the a patient that he's helping, anything. So now you can go create your person using shapes and lines and create the most detailed person you can. Maybe you could even make your whole family. What a special gift that would be. Have fun.